If you're going to call people fascists, tell me the definition.
People like you who just want to see all the libtards, as we have here, everybody be on the losing end of the stick, because you all want to be winners. America wants to win.
What a definition. Do you have to carry your passport card with you?
No.
My children do, because they're Chinese adoptees.
Wait, who said that they have to?
Well, because they don't look American.
Who said that they have to do it?
They do it for their protection.
So they don't have to?
They don't have to, but
no, they don't. But you've scared them into thinking that they have to.
I didn't scare them.
Yeah, why don't you tell?
I didn't.
I'm sorry?
The TV scares.
That's a good point. The TV is scaring you guys into thinking that you have to carry your passport. Hi, are you part of the protest?
I'm actually attending Readout.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Gulfport, Readout.
Okay, very cool. What do you think about their signs?
Oh, absolutely. Come
Absolutely,
on.
yeah. So you support it?
No kings, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, get with it. Yeah. You can push the law to a point that is only to your benefit and no one else's. And that dadgum man in the White House right now, he's doing it. And we better be paying attention because midterms comes up.
Yeah.
So consequently, those of you, not necessarily you, but those who have stayed out of the ruckus of actually voting in a private, secretive ballot, which is our voting system. It's secret. No one has to know who you voted for. Just go fucking vote.
Okay. Oh, you said no kings. Do you think Trump exhibits king-like attributes or behaviors?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
How so?
In that, there are no repercussions to him or his family.
Okay, well, he was charged with 34 felonies by a Democrat prosecutor.
That Democratic prosecutor was voted into office using the laws that were Republican, Democrat, you know.
Well, you said he has no consequences and he can do whatever he wants, but
that's exactly what he's doing.
But he did have consequences.
So hey, it did not happen. It did not happen.
So he doesn't have those felonies?
He has felonies. Yeah. He is a rapist.
Okay.
And we put him into office.
Well, usually kings don't actually get convicted of felonies, right?
You would think not. But
so maybe he's not a king then.
He's a king in his mind.
Okay, so he's not actually a king.
He is a king in his mind, along with those Republicans who are standing behind him, which basically means the conservatives that are standing
I'm a Trump supporter. I did vote for Trump.
Hey, I didn't.
Okay.
I knew what he did in business, which basically means to kill his businesses, but to profit from them. And he's profited from us.
How do you profit from your businesses if your plan is to kill them? Whatever. Let's move on. I'm just here talking to people who want to talk to me. If people say they don't, I move on. Why is that wrong?
Just move on.
Why?
Because I said so.
Why can't you guys handle your own? Why can't you guys say what you believe in? It's incredible. Instead of shutting down conversation, you guys should be able to be smart enough to debate me. Prove me wrong. Can any of you do it?
Yeah, how about
Go ahead.
You guys, first of all, lumping everybody together.
Yeah.
You're not a real journalist.
I don't say that I am one.
Content and to score points.
Who am I?
This is a community. I don't know where you're from.
Who am I?
But I heard you say what your name was before. Your name was Caitlin.
Yeah.
And I've seen some of your videos.
Thank you for watching.
And I know that you don't have to thank me. I wish I had not watched your videos because it's upsetting to see how divisive the country is. Because if you're right, that's our bread and butter. Yeah. But you, sir, I'm having a conversation now. Okay. But I see that you're getting content of people being aggravated by you here. Okay, because they know that you're here just for your own content, for your own purpose, and you're just going to paint people in a bad light. Not everybody's the same. Not everybody is able to gather their thoughts. Some of these people are really elderly here in Gulfport. I don't know where you're from, but Gulfport is a very elderly community.
Okay.
Obviously, it's a very progressive community where people don't like to see federal government asking people for where their papers are. They don't like to see the federal government confronting people with masks on and guns drawn and causing aggravating problems.
Okay.
You know, and we all believe.
Am I allowed to respond to any of this?
Well, what do you mean respond?
Yeah, because you've been having a monologue. You're kind of filibustering me here, and a conversation requires two people to be able to have dialogue.
I thought you wanted to hear from people here, and you didn't want people screaming at you.
Yeah.
But
No,
now you're turning
I would like to respond to
you. don't like the fact that I'm talking to you.
I love that you're talking to me.
But I'm explaining to you that you're not doing good for anybody because
I would love to respond to that.
No, well, you can respond all you want because you've always got your security guard here. Your
Why
camera,
is that?
Because that goes with the territory.
Why do I need security?
Because you are going into situations with people who have feelings, strong feelings, and everybody's different, okay? Some people, like this gentleman, thinks he should be jumping in front of your camera and blocking speech, okay? Not everybody is trained in conversation and conflict resolution.
Well, do you think that when the people standing out here, they feel so passionately?
They sure do.
Okay, but my question is, if they feel so passionately that they would do this on a Saturday evening or Saturday afternoon, that they should be able to hold their own in a conversation with me when I just ask them questions.
They're not out here for conversation. They're here to express their feelings, to express their strong feelings against ICE, against fascism, and you're trying to supposedly engage in conversations, but people see through you.
Yeah.
And that's what the thing is.
So what am I doing that's so wrong?
So we get as dumb as you.
What'd you say?
So we act as dumb as this comes across, trying to incite problems in the middle of something that I consider
Duncan,
therapy.
and I'm not sure what your name is, sir.
Yeah, my name is Stuart.
Stuart, please don't touch me.
This woman.
So here's the thing. Before Duncan started getting upset at me because he found out I was a Trump supporter, I was actually having great conversations with people because that's what I do. I just left the farmers market in St. Pete and had amazing conversations there with people, and no one acted like this. But here I come to a protest. But why is it when I'm in a protest, you guys can't control your feelings?
I can't speak for other people, and you can't say you guys can't control your feelings because I'm standing here having a conversation with you. And my first point is everybody's different.
Yeah.
Everybody's different.
I know everyone's different.
Lump everybody together, just like the president does. These people are bad, those people are bad, you know, trying to divide people and catalog people as to some people are good and some people are bad and some people have to win and some people have to lose. How about we have a country where we all try to cooperate and we all try to win together, but going into communities like Minneapolis and causing terror with masked federal agents, okay, that's only the way for a fascist administration to bring fear so that people won't speak out.
What are they supposed to be speaking out against?
They're speaking out against brutality and restriction of freedoms and you know.
Well, when ICE is in Minneapolis and they're doing targeted operations against people with warrants and have deportation orders and they've been convicted of crimes, shouldn't we support our law enforcement going in there and apprehending them and deporting them?
I think when you see a crew of masked people walking down the streets, that doesn't look like a targeted, you know, if it's targeted, you're going to somebody's front door, you're knocking on the door, you're going in. But when you're going down the street and you're taking people who are filming and trying to see what ICE is doing and confronting them and throwing them out of the street,
let me respond to you,
spraying them in the face with tear gas.
Let me respond to you.
That's fascism, and that's not the country I want to live in. It's a very scary place to live.
Let me respond to you. The reason why it doesn't look like a targeted operation is because Minneapolis is a sanctuary city. And so they want the federal government, ICE, DOJ, they want the Minneapolis city to abide by their rules and their laws and ask them, hey, if we have a detainer for someone, can you hold them so we can come and arrest them? They won't do it. They get these illegal aliens, and instead of notifying ICE, they actually send them out back into the city where they commit more crimes, they brutalize more people, they commit more fraud. And so, unfortunately, Trump has had to deploy ICE in this fashion because the city won't cooperate with them. So ICE is doing targeted enforcement, but instead of sending one person into a jail cell to pick up someone in Minneapolis who needs to be deported, now they have to send out troves of 16 agents to apprehend one person because they are followed by agitators. They are being assaulted by agitators. People are running into them with their cars. They're trying to allow the person who has a deportation order to get away.
I think that you sound like a government spokesperson, and I think that what you're saying is a lot of BS.
Okay.
Because I see my own eyes, and I hear from people who've been there. I know somebody who was hearing in St. Petersburg, an elderly blonde-haired lady who has property in Minneapolis, and she said in the parking lot of her supermarket, she was asked by masked ICE agents to, where are you from? Where are your grandparents from? And her grandparents were from Europe, and then saying, oh, we're going to get to you next. That's what
I think that's a whole bunch of BS.
I think what you're saying is a bunch of
What
BS
is fascism?
Too, because fascism is when you restrict the freedom of the press. Fascism is when you cause fear. Okay.
What is fascism? What is it? What's the definition of fascism?
Well, I'm not an expert on fascism, but
Well, if you're going to say that certain people are
so
fascists,
I have to be an expert to have a conversation about fascism.
if you're going to call people fascists, tell me the definition.
Fascism is when the government takes control of the industry. They take control of the press. They take control of the judiciary.
I'm not looking for examples. I'm asking for a definition.
I'm defining. I thought you had like half a brain.
A definition.
I'm defining it for you. They take control of the judiciary. They take control of the government. Everybody has to fall in line so that somebody like Trump can get away with saying anything against women and having all this evidence about how awful he's been to women and all the crimes he's committed and all the fraud. And people like you who just want to see all the libtards, as we have here, everybody be on the losing end of the stick, because you all want to be winners. America wants to win.
What
so
a definition.
What
is the definition? What is the definition of fascism?
I just told you, it's where the government takes control over the press, and I'm repeating it so that you get it.
What you're giving me are examples.
I'm not a professor of political history. I'm just a guy who watches the news and who has studied history.
Who coined the term fascism?
I didn't coin the term fascism. What a dumb thing to say.
Who
and that's
coined the
why
term?
I know that you're not here
Who
for
coined the term?
real conversations like you say you're here. No.
Who coined the term fascism?
I don't know the original.
What are the
I think
tenets
it's
of fascism?
I think the fascism started the term in Italy, and it was to describe what Mussolini's party had, and basically it was a party of thugs and bullies who would commit violence against people the same way that ICE and our government commits violence against people
So let me
to make
respond.
them fall in line.
So ICE agents are complying under immigration law Title 8 in the U.S. Code, okay? Everything they're doing,
listen,
you won't even, I listen to you, but you won't listen to me.
It's not about listening, because again, you sound like
Why
a
won't you
government spokesperson, and I don't believe the government, and I don't believe you, because I know how brutal and stupid our government is. Let me give one example.
So here's the thing, you keep filibustering.
In ICE. One thing
Listen to me. You did not let me finish my sentence,
turn this into a discussion about, like, hey, either you want to hear from me or you don't.
Yeah, you just keep talking. You just keep talking. And when I try to respond, you tell me I'm lying. You call me a government spokesman, which is not an insult. Caroline Levitt is a great government spokeswoman, and I think she's very intelligent. So that's kind of a compliment if you ask me.
Okay.
ICE agents operate under Title 8 of the U.S. Code, okay? That's what they operate under.
I want to tell a story about how I know what's going on with ICE.
Do you have to carry your passport card with you?
Nope.
Well, my children do, because they're Chinese adoptees. They're American citizens
Okay,
too.
great. And they immigrated here, right?
They did as babies, but they shouldn't have to carry their
Wait, who
blood.
said that they have to?
Well, because they don't look American.
Who said that they have to do it?
They do it for their protection.
So they don't have to.
They don't have to, but they
No,
do
they
it for their
don't. But you've
protection.
scared them into thinking that they have to.
I didn't scare them.
Yeah. Why don't you tell?
I didn't.
I'm sorry.
The TV scares them.
That's a good point. The
scare them.
TV
No,
is scaring
actually,
you
no,
guys
no, no,
into
no.
thinking that you have to
Excuse me.
carry your passport.
ICE in Charlotte, North Carolina, where my older daughter works for Wells Fargo as a computer engineer with a master's from Duke. That scared her into it.
Okay, this isn't a conversation. That's not a punchline and then you walk away. Yes, you have to have a form of identification when you're an immigrant. It is wise to carry that with you to prove your citizenship. That's not wrong.
You have to have, but you just said they're not telling people to do that.
So I said it's wise to do that, and they should have to do it.
You're ugly on the inside and out.
So you guys keep having these punchlines, but you can't engage in conversation.
When you were having the whole back and forth with him, you're mumbling so nobody in the crowd can hear your.
And now that you're hearing me, you have to try and call me ugly.
It's all fake news. I'm not going to talk to fake news. I completely understand what you're saying. That if somebody is different than what people consider citizens, that they could be harassed, and I agree. I think they should have their passport or something to.
I don't think that's unreasonable.
No, but we also have to realize that maybe people can't get to a place to do that or pay for a passport. Passports are expensive.
Well, when you immigrate here, you are given all your documents. And so that's in the process, and that's in the fees, and that's in everything. So you have it on hand with you when you become a U.S. citizen. You get it in court, right? And so what I'm saying is, no one has told her children that they have to have it on them or else bad things will happen. She's told her children that, and that's a lie. People are not just stopping people who are Chinese or Mexican or anything like that just because they look like they're not an American citizen. That's not true. That's not happening.
So you're telling me that they're not.
Come on, Angie, let's go.
That they're not.
She's talking
You know
to
what?
me. It's okay. We're
Are
having
you
a good
telling me that they're
conversation.
not stopping people by their color of their skin?
No, I'm not saying that they're not No, I'm not saying that. So they are allowed to look at someone's skin color with other attributes about them and say, oh, that person might be suspicious. I want to make sure they're an American citizen. The Supreme Court just ruled that was okay to do.
Have you ever been profiled before?
I have.
And I've experienced it too.
Yeah, me too.
And it's not right.
Yeah, I've been profiled.
For what?
Yeah, so when I come to these protests, I actually get profiled as some deranged, disgusting Republican pedophile, and people try to infringe on my conversations that I'm having with other people, and they profile me as someone who's here to agitate when all I want to do is talk to you guys. You guys profile me every time I show up to one of these things.
I didn't even know who you were.
I didn't either. Why would I profile you? I don't even know who you are.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that's what happens when I come here. I am
That's a
profiled.
lot different than being profiled with someone who's an African American and getting pulled over and shot and thrown in jail. Lots of people.
Who?
You know who they are.
No, I don't. Who?
Floyd.
George Floyd. How about that?
George Floyd was pulled out of a truck and killed. And
Yeah, why was he pulled out of that truck, by the way? Because he was saying he couldn't breathe in the truck.
No.
Yes, he was.
you know what? If you read your history books, read history.
Yeah, that was just like 5 or 6 years ago. We don't have to go too far back in history.
You know,
George
you
Floyd was
probably
saying
don't
he couldn't
understand the
breathe in the
insurrection.
cruiser.
The insurrection was, in fact,
We're talking about George Floyd, ma'am.
well, we were talking about the insurrection now.
Yeah, no, we're not. We're talking about George Floyd. He said he couldn't breathe when he was in the back of the cruiser.
Yeah.
That's why they took him
And
out.
there were a lot of people that.
Did you know
been
that?
in situations like that.
Did you know that?
couldn't he
Because he
breathe?
was high on fentanyl.
Oh, right.
He
You're
was-
so right. That's what you believe?
He wasn't high?
That's what you believe.
You believe he wasn't?
I believe he wasn't. Okay. Then you believe he was?
This is actually
believe he was?
astonishing that we can have two different
and
views
two
here.
truths that are not true.
Okay.
Can I say something about police abuse?
No, you cannot
Yeah,
right
briefly.
now. So anyway, hey, George.
It's a helpful story about what they're talking about.
Yeah, well, I'm going to actually head back to my children here soon. You have
Okay,
literally
good.
30 seconds of my time.
Good. So,
If I'm so stupid, then prove me wrong. None of you can do it. It's funny when, Adam, look at me. So it's funny when, like, I'm saying I'm done, I'm going home to my children. He keeps following me, but I want more of your time. I want more of you're such a phony. You don't want to talk to me. No, you don't. You're not obligated to 30 minutes of my time.
I am on the opposition. I'm supporting the people that come into this country. And I do support due process. And I don't think they're getting due process.
Okay, you don't think they're getting
No,
due
they're not
process.
getting due process.
How do you know that?
Well, they don't. We don't see any media reporting that they're getting due process.
Okay, so
if they
just-
were getting due process, we would be hearing about it.
Well, we do hear about it, right? We do hear about it.
And there's a
well-
lot of people that are in this country that are going through the process of becoming a citizen or getting granted asylum.
Well, let me
And
ask you this.
It takes time
does.
for them to go through the process. Why are they showing up at the courthouses when they're trying to go through the processes
I can tell
and
you
they're
why.
taking them away.
I can tell you why. It's because the judge is not going to order them to be renewed visas or allowed to stay in the country. They
We
will
don't know
have
that.
deportation orders.
We don't know that.
Well, we do
No.
because ICE is there waiting for them because they know that they are not going to be granted the ability to stay in
How
the
do they know
country
that?
because the judge is not going to grant it. And so
That's
the
not true.
judge
There was a judge that was on TV that was protecting somebody that was before the court, and the Republican Party and that group criticized the judge for protecting that immigrant.
Okay.
They deserve due process.
But what due process
And
are they not getting?
People also say on the Republican side
Okay.
that they don't deserve due process.
Okay.
It's in our Constitution. If you're in this country, you deserve due process.
More importantly, it's in Title 8 as well about how immigration proceedings happen. And so what
It takes
is
a
the
long time
hold on.
to be-
What is the due process when someone is caught in this country illegally?
I don't believe somebody being in here undocumented is illegally.
I know that you don't believe that.
It's a civil
hold on,
offense.
ma'am.
It's not a
hold on.
criminal offense.
So hold on. I would love to respond to you. So a conversation, just no reason for us to get
That's
upset.
true, what I just said, correct?
So it's not true, but let me correct you. Hold on, please don't laugh. I'm trying to explain it to you. So when you cross the country, when you cross the border illegally and you're in the country illegally, it is a criminal offense. It's a misdemeanor,
It's
a
a
federal
misdemeanor,
Hold on,
civil
hold on,
offense.
hold on. It is a misdemeanor, but it is a criminal offense. And when you enter the country illegally 2 times, it's now a felony offense.
I understand
And so here's the thing. We could, when ICE apprehends an illegal alien that crossed the border just 1 time, it could go through a criminal proceeding because it is a criminal offense. However, ICE and DHS, they operate it civilly and administratively. So we don't have to charge these people with crimes. That's why they aren't afforded a jury. That's why they aren't afforded a free lawyer. That's why they aren't afforded these other things, because it's a civil process. Now, we could charge everyone. Just Juan, who came over, his first time he got apprehended at crossing the border illegally, is his first time ever. He's just a farm worker. We could prosecute him criminally,
Right.
but we don't, because it is a criminal offense. A misdemeanor is a criminal offense, but we don't, because it would clog up the courts, and so we just deport them back home. That's all we do.
So when Trump says
What did you know that?
I know that it's a misdemeanor, and I know that they should be able to go through the process of being a citizen or seeking asylum and that accepted in this country. My grandparents came here from another country. I'm a granddaughter of immigrants, Greece.
Greece. Okay, very cool. Did they do it legally?
Oh, you know that the legal process was totally different from when it was
I
back
was just
then
asking
than
if they
now.
came here legally.
Have you looked at all the steps you have to do to become a citizen?
I was just wondering if they came
I'm
here
asking you,
legally.
Have you looked at all of the steps that you have to go through to become a citizen?
No, because there's a lot of different avenues.
is a
What
lot
I
of
do
different
know, I have looked at the steps.
No.
Hold
This is
on.
a waste of time.
This isn't a waste of time.
Are you enjoying yourself? Because we can leave. Okay.
I'm fine.
She's okay.
I'm fine.
So you can handle yourself. You're doing a
Yes,
great
I
job.
can handle myself.
Yes, you can
Because
handle
I
yourself.
believe they deserve due process.
Yes, and what I'm saying
they
is they are
shouldn't have-
getting it.
Helicopter people jumping out of a helicopter, military.
Where is that
style.
happening?
In Chicago. It happened in Chicago. They busted the doors down. They brought all those people out of
Who
Chicago.
did they arrest?
Well, I know there were little kids there.
Who were they
It
targeting?
traumatizes those people.
Who were they
But you know what?
targeting?
I want to.
Ma'am, who were they targeting with that
They
arrest?
say they had somebody they were targeting.
What crimes did they commit?
Why can't they?
What crimes
Okay,
did they
let me ask you
commit?
this.
What crimes did they commit?
That's a good question. What crime did they have the right to go into everybody's home in that apartment to look for whomever it was that they were?
Yeah. So
Couldn't
they've been
they have
targeting rapists
couldn't they
and
have-
murderers.
Oh, get out of here.
You don't
Couldn't
think
they
that's true,
couldn't
ma'am?
Couldn't they have staked out the place instead of bringing in a helicopter and dropping people in?
Well-
could they have done that? Could they have? Yes or no?
Oh,
Could
I mean, they
done
could have done anything, but I trust that our
But
law
no,
enforcement
I'm
officers
asking you,
are
could
okay
they
with
have
that.
staked out the place and done that without having the whole building busted in by these people and these little kids
Let me show you
traumatized?
this.
I want you to know.
These are people who have been arrested in Minneapolis that you say deserve due process. All of these people, they're fraudsters, they're rapists, they're murderers. They've sodomed.
Who is that? Fox News?
Nope, this is not Fox
Whose
News.
news is it?
This is a local Channel 5.
Okay, I would have to look and see if that's true.
Yeah, so these are mugshots from people, from illegal aliens in Minneapolis who have already been arrested. They've already been
I'd have to see
arrested.
if they have committed criminal crimes, not civil cases.
But
my
these are
point- my
criminals
point-
with rap
I'd
sheets
like
of
to go
rape
back-
and murder
I'd
and
like to go-
sodomizing little children.
Oh, get out of here.
You don't believe that?
I believe that children. Let's talk about Epstein then, if you want to talk.
We can do that
sodomizing.
right after we're talking about
But
this.
let me finish one thing. I want to.
Does that bother you?
If that's true, yes, it does.
But this is who ICE is targeting. And when
No, they're not.
yes, they are.
They
400
have arrested citizens. They've pulled that woman out of the car that claimed that she was disabled. She was a citizen of this country.
the woman who rammed her car into the
She
into
testified
the
before
other car.
committee. No, she didn't.
So here's the
And
thing.
she told them she was disabled and a citizen.
So
and they
I-
pulled her out of the car.
I do want to
I
head
wanna
back
go
to my kids.
I want to go back to immigration. What we
That's
need
what we're
to
talking
do,
about, immigration.
What we
Okay.
need to do is go back to that bipartisan bill that they had in May of 2024 or February of 2024 and support it. It was a bipartisan immigration bill. It gave more judges so that the process through the court could be faster.
Trump did that with an executive order.
And Trump told them not to support it.
You know why?
Oh, you're
Because
going to
it wasn't about-
a good bill. It was a bipartisan bill. Bipartisan. That means both parties
You're
agreed.
getting a little heated.
No, that's true. Is that
Okay.
true? Is that true or not true?
I'm not saying that both
No,
parties
is it
didn't like
true
it.
or not true?
What's your question?
That there was a bipartisan bill and Donald J. Trump told them not to.
Oh,
vote
that's
for
true,
it.
and I agree
Okay,
with that.
Thank you. That's all I
agree
want to
with-
talk
what is-
to you about.
Oh my goodness.
On the news.
I'm not the news, lady. I'm not the news. This is so aggravating because she says she wants to talk. I offer just a little bit of dialogue that actually, this is what I know. What do you think about it? And she can't control her temper. It's like a toddler. Telling a toddler, no, actually, we're not going to do this. This is wrong. They cannot control their impulses or their temper. And it's so aggravating. It's so aggravating. I'm going home to my toddlers now because they are better behaved than these old boomers out here protesting.